Moans and groans could be heard down the hallway as the boys of Casa del Marley made their way to the breakfast table after a long night out at the bar. Tom, Dave, and Victor are all American students studying in Madrid for a semester. The boys have been getting acquainted with the relaxed Madrileño lifestyle and have enjoyed their time so far. However, with the relaxed atmosphere and the excitement of new opportunities, the boys have been faced with many temptations. "Yo, did you have fun last night, bro?" "Because I know I did," asked Tom to Dave animatedly. "Of course, I had a blast. That bar was awesome," replied Dave. "What about you, Victor?" Grunted Victor as he hung his head in shame. "Yo, dude, what's wrong?" asked Dave. "Yeah, brah. And where'd you disappear to last night, Victor?" seconded Tom. "You said you were going to go to the bathroom and you never came back." Victor sighed. "I think I cheated on Susie last night with some chick at the bar." "Yo, what?" exclaimed Tom. "Yeah, what happened?" asked Dave. "Well, I was drunkenly talking to some chick at O'Muno's last night. Before I knew it, she pulled me outside, and I don't really remember what happened after that. I remember her saying that she lived across the street," strained Victor. "She just kind of dragged me along as we stumbled all over the place. I don't really remember her name, or either what she said. But I remember her dragging me inside the apartment and, well, yeah. I left about an hour later, feeling pretty crappy about myself, and I just kind of headed home." "Well, what are you going to do, Victor?" asked Dave. "I mean, you should tell her." "Whoa, whoa, whoa! What are you talking about, Dave?" interjected Tom. "There is absolutely no way you could tell her." "Why not, man?" shot back Dave. "I mean, if that happened to you, wouldn't you want to know?" "That's not the point, bro," replied Tom. "Think of the consequences." "That may be true, but don't you have any kind of moral grounding rebuttal, Dave? Don't you think maybe it's the right thing to do to tell the truth? You know, the golden rule. Do unto others as you have done unto you." "True, but they've been dating for over 2 years, bro. There's no point in ruining a good relationship over something stupid that didn't mean anything. I mean, he got a little drunk and made a mistake. Everyone makes mistakes, dude," refuted Tom. Now, while this was happening, Victor was deep in thought, stroking his chin, debating what Tom and Dave were offering. On the one hand, Dave was right in his reasoning, and that he should be honest. I mean, Susie would have been honest with him, right? However, what if she wouldn't have been honest and would have done the same thing? Tom could be right, and this little incident doesn't matter and should be swept under the rug for the good of the relationship. But then it hit Victor. Victor had come from a good background. He went to parochial school, had a good family life, and had built a solid foundation of morals throughout his life, and thought he had always lived virtuously up till now. The fact of the matter is that the rightness, or the wrongness, of his decision didn't matter. He is a moral character, and that should be upheld. His actions from the previous night were out of character, and thus he should do his best to reestablish that. Finally, Victor spoke. "This is a stupid debate. Your lines of reasoning don't apply to me. The bottom line is, I'm not going to feel right not telling Susie the truth." Without saying another word, Victor got up and walked out of the room. Victor told Susie about what had happened because he felt he had certain values and morals in his life that he could not feel right breaking. Though Susie broke up with him and Victor is pretty heartbroken, he did what he needed to do to uphold his moral character. Deontological ethics is represented by the character Dave in the preceding clip. This type of ethical approach derives from the Greek word for duty and emphasizes just that. A deontologist feels he or she has a duty to do what is right and moral over what is maybe considered to be good. The principles by which a deontologist lives are steadfast and unchanging, and the outcomes of a scenario have no effect on the choices they make. Common examples of this approach can be seen in the Ten Commandments, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and the Divine Command Theory, which is a group of documents that states if God decrees something is right, then it is considered right. Teleological ethics was represented in the preceding clip by the character Tom. This type of ethical approach derives from the Greek word for purpose or end. A teleologist juxtaposed to a deontologist believes that possible outcomes guide choices of a scenario. The consequences of a scenario will always trump any motives, morals, or principles that an agent may hold. This type of approach is best exemplified in John Stuart Mill's book, Utilitarianism, which preaches that choices should be made for the greatest amount of good for the greatest amount of people. Other common examples of this type of ethics can be seen in the writings of Charles Darwin. Virtue ethics was represented in the preceding clip by the character Victor. This type of ethics was first explored by Plato and then later developed by Aristotle. A virtue ethicist stands in opposition to both a deontologist and a teleologist because the criteria for which an ethical decision is judged is based not on rules or consequences, but on the agent's moral character. For example, a deontologist thinks it's always bad to tell a lie. A teleologist may think telling a lie is bad only sometimes. A virtue ethicist does not consider whether a lie is good or bad, but what telling a lie says about one's moral character. A real example of this can be seen in ethics explored by Aristotle called eudaimonia. Eudaimonia is a concept that aims at achieving the highest human good. Colloquially, the term living the good life manifests this idea. Overall, it is important to remember that there is no right or wrong between all three ethical approaches. They are simply three different ways to ethically resolve a scenario.